organized by this wonderful group, Jijnasa. The traditional Indian understanding is that all dharmas are founded in the Raja Dharma, and that the Raja is the Raja Kalasya Karanam. That if the times are good, it's because the Raja is good. And if the times are bad, maybe as our revered Gauri Shankarji said, the society has gone astray. But ultimately, who has to see that the society falls back in line? That is the state. By state, we don't merely mean Manmohan Singh or Narendra Modi. That's not the Rajya Tantra that we have, the state system that we have. It's true that the Hindu society today does not have the kind of moral fiber that it exhibited over millennia, and it has to reacquire it. But first it has to establish a state that is allows the Hindu society to be dharmika. That for the society to be dharmika, you have to have a state apparatus that will enable the society to be. And the temples are one of the most important institutions around which Dharma is to be established. So I will briefly try to tell you something from a very amateurish study of what has been the relation between the state and the temples in India. It's a very huge subject. We can spend 1 week discussing this subject in various facets. So I will just try to set the central point. Then we will come back to today, because the issue is today, and what can we learn from that. And something about how did we get into this situation. That is also very important to disentangle the kind of ties into which we are. Okay, so India is a great country of religious places. As per the 2001 census, it recorded about 2.4 million religious places in the country. And in 1991 census, there were 1.75 million. That means there is a great growth in the number of course the census doesn't mention how many of these religious places are gurdwaras, or how many are temples, or how many are churches, or how many are mosques. That the census doesn't give. It's somewhat religion blind. But traditionally, the understanding is there is a great difference between a temple and a mosque and a church. Temple is the place where we believe God actually dwells. Of course, God actually dwells all over the world. But temples are especially the places where the God dwells. In Christianity or Islam, God does not dwell in this world. And church or mosques are places of congregation where the worshippers gather. So there is a fundamental theological difference between the way we understand a temple and the way the Christian or Islamic society understands a mosque or a church. Just waiting for this because we have to quickly run through the basic issues so that you could later on debate what is the situation today. Right, this temple and state, it's a PDF file. Now, okay, just make it whole screen. It's not easy to work. Make the view whole screen, that's all. On the bottom left, there is always a right hand.
Full screen mode. Yeah.
That's it. Just go to the next stage. We'll quickly run through this. Okay, I will try to cover basically 4 points. One, that the king was both a provider and a protector of temples in the traditional Indian society. Dana and Palana were the main duties of the Raj. Then around 1800, between 1750 to 1800, what was the state of our temples in South India? Then what were the changes that arose due to the British rule, the 150 years of British rule in India? And what is the relation between state and the temples that prevail today? The state is more like a controller than either a provider or a protector. So let's go to this. Now, traditionally, the kings of Vijayanagar or the great kings of Orissa, the Anangadhima, they all ruled in the name of the deity in their capital city. That the Vijayanagar kings ruled in the name of Virupaksha, the Gajapati kings ruled as Purushottama Dasas. And the most important instance is the Raja of Tiruvananthapuram. In 1750, they donated the entire state to Padmanabha Swami, and they called themselves Padmanabha Dasas. And then this transition had to be made in 1950, that the state had to be handed over back to the Union of India. The Raja said, okay, we sign my state back because it belongs to Padmanabha Swami. I am not the ruler or the owner of this land. And a very special way had to be found to sort of annex the Tiruvananthapuram state to the state of India. Next one. Now, to get an example of how the kings endowed, about 1000 years ago, Raja Chola built this Devadishwara temple in Tanjavur. It took about, I think, 6 to 7 years between 1008 and 1014 AD. So he donated the lands of 40 villages, by which it meant he donated the revenue that he would get. The lands did not belong to the king at those times. The revenue that those lands yielded were given to the temple. Next one. So he basically endowed, this one. About 1001 functionaries. There are about 50 inscriptions in Devadishwara temple, each of which describe how many Devadasis. 400 Devadasis had to come from 400 villages. And what was the endowment made for them? 100 Payakaras had to come, Kavalkaras had to come from 100 villages. What was the? Some 200 people who recite the Kevaram and Mantra Pushpam. What is to be made? So now 1001 functionaries. And one share was 100 columns of paddy per day. It will come to a substantial amount, we will not go into that. And the ratio between the lowest person in this 1001 temple functionaries to the biggest person was between 0.4 shares to 2 shares. That is in the ratio of 1:5. This was the wage differential in the temple. Next one. So, temples having that kind of a big establishment was very common at that time. The Rishta in 16th century is writing about Somnath temple at the time of Mahmud Ghazni's conquest. He says that daily water was obtained from Ganga for Abhishekam of Lord Somnatha. There were 2000 Brahmins, 400 Devadasis, 300 musicians, 300 barbers. These are all according to the Rishta at that time. And I will talk about the temple. It's a village called Sudi in Dharwad district. There is an inscription of 1058 AD. I have not seen this temple, unfortunately. And it had 1000 functionaries in 1058 AD, the Mallikarjuna temple. I am saying in an obscure village as we know today, in Dharwad district. This would have been the kind of temple establishment that was very traditional. Okay. Next. So the king had two duties. One was Dana, endow the temple, give it gold, give it cows, give it land. Land meaning the revenue that is getting from the bit of land. Give it various other kinds of riches. The other one was Palana. Palana was protection. Protection was both from external threats and from threats that would come to the endowments of the temple. The protection was also to ensure, the point that the Gandhi was mentioned, that the temple followed its own traditional discipline according to its own Mata. So the king had to protect that. But that is nothing very special. In all Dharma Shastras, there are verses which will say the carpenters, the potters, the dancers, all of them have to follow their own Swadharma. The Dharma of the Raja is not to legislate what the potter should do, or what the ironsmith should do, or what the Brahmin should do. Everybody everybody has to follow their Dharma, their own traditional understanding of Dharma. And maintaining that was the duty of the king. So the king was not a legislator in India, or the state was not a legislator in India. It was an arbiter, it was a protector of every unit, every community, every traditional unit of the polity to follow its own autonomous Dharma. This is the state principle of India. So the Pandits told the Pandya Raja that the protection is much more important than endowing. Endowing is for your own personal punya. Protection is to ensure that the institution lasts forever. Next one. Now, how was a temple managed? So there are millions of inscriptions, especially in South India, about temples. And in fact, 80% of the inscriptions in Tirupati temple is about endowments for feeding people in various kinds, endowments made by different people. Anyway, the people who were to manage were called sthanikas, skalakas, or they are also called the warrior perumakkal in Tamil inscriptions. And from the time of Arthashastra, the main duty is that a temple has to be managed by the sthanikas. Sthanikas meaning local councils, local groups. And their main duty is to ensure that the temple's riches, wealth, etc. activities increase. That is what Kautilya is saying. Baladravyam, Grama Dudhaha, Vardhayayu, Devadravyam. Next one. So who are these sthanikas? So there is a very famous inscription of the Tirupati temple in 1390, which is mentioning the list of sthanakas. It is saying 4 nirvahams for the Tirupati Shri Vaishnavas, 3 nirvahams for the Sabhaya, the councillors of the Tirchanur village, 1 nirvaham for the Nambima, the architect of the temple, 2 nirvaham for the Kovil Kaikunjiyars, what are known as the Periyajiyar and the Chinnajiyar today, 2 nirvaham for the temple accountants. So these are the sthanikas. The local Sri Vaishnava community, that is the community of the worshippers, the local village sabha, the village assembly, and then the local heads of the sampradayas that are associated with the temple, and the archakas, and the temple manager. This is the sthanika group. So these were the managers of the temple. They manage the day-to-day affairs. And there are even wonderful stories. If you study the traditional biography of Bhagavad Ramanujacharya, whose 1000th year we are celebrating in a year or two, he was to Puri. You know that Ramanujacharya reformed the Srirangam temple and all the activities in several South Indian temples as per Panchadatra Agama. So he goes to Puri and says that I want to convert this temple into a Panchadatra Agama temple. Now this story is mentioned in the biography of Ramanujacharya, traditional biography, Ratanamritam, or this Yatinda Purana, the Bhavana. What it says is, the people of Puri went to Lord Jagannatha and said that this great Yati has come from South India, he wants to change everything here, and we will have no role in the temple hereafter. So Jagannatha said, no, don't worry. So he told Acharya Ramanuja, I have given you Sri Lanka, I have given you Tirupati, I have given you Kanchipuram, why do you want to come to Puri? Let me enjoy with my devotees in the way they want me to enjoy with them. So Ramanujacharya said, okay, Lord. But in his mind he thought, no, we have to do something to see that this temple is brought into the Agamic Parampara. So Lord Purushottam Deva decided this Acharya is not going to bring down. So overnight he transported him from the Jagannatha Kshetra to Sri Kurma Kshetra in Andhra coast. So this is what the traditional biographies which extol Ramanujacharya's life. This is what they say about the inviolability of the customs of a major temple in India, the Puri Jagannath Kshetra. Next one. Okay, so at the time of British conquest. So around 1800, so I am just talking about small temples in villages. So there is a detailed account of these villages near Madras, 2000 villages. In each village, how many temples are there in which corner? Perumal temple, Amman temple, Bidari temple, Anjaneya temple, then of course Shiva temple, Vishnu temple. Average village had about 5 to 6 temples in these 2000 villages. And there were villages which had about 33 temples. And in the 1990s, we went to about 100 of these villages for which we had these records. and wanted to compare what it was in 1750 and what it is now in 1990, we found that about 20 to 30% of increase in the small temples. Of course, some of the bigger temples were in much greater ruins. Next. Now, how were these temples managed? So, of course, certain land was donated. It is called manyam. Again, manyam means the revenue coming from that land goes to this temple functionary, be it a temple sweeper or a Nadaswaram player or a Narchaka. Then there is a share in the crop, and the share in the crop is given in two stages. There is something called the Swatantra, which is given before the grain is measured. And there is something called a Merai, which is given after the grain is measured. And this Merai is something called trans-village institutions. And this Swatantra was mostly for the institutions of the village itself. And both were substantial. These Swatantrams were about 15% of the gross produce. Merai was about another 14-15%. About 1/4 of the Nanjai lands were manyam at that time. Next one. But this Merai was used to maintain larger temples in the region. Here is the Kanchi Varadaraja Swami temple, which is getting about 0.5% of the gross produce from 1,250 of these 2,000 villages. And the Chinnaperumal Koil, which is in the Chennai Road, Tirukachur temple, which is right opposite that, Sri Bengaluru Bhashyakara, Tirukachur Vedagirishwara. So like that you can mark. Kumarakrupa Chikodi is the Kanchi Kamakoti Pitamat, which had to run away because of the Arthak Nawab, and they had to go to Kumarakrupa that time. So there are institutions which are trans-local, which are maintained by contributions from various villages. In some sense, they are a mini state in themselves, these temples. This is how they function. Next one. So what did the British do? They said they fixed all these revenues that the temples were getting in money terms, and they disconnected this contribution from individual villages to temples. They said we will take the revenue and give you a share of the revenue. So this link between the society and the temples was disturbed both at the local level of the village itself and at the level of the regional polity. Next one. Previous one. So there are these important kind of data that come. Even in 1820, there is a big report on Srinivas temple, and they are saying that this temple has 801 functionaries, 6 Kalakar, 20 Archakas, 20 Adhyapakas, 20 Vedaparayanikas, 50 Satanis. Satanis are the non-Brahmin Sri Vaishnavas, 20 accountants, 80 Devadasis, etc. etc. The Jambukeshwara Swami temple in Sri Rangam, the Shiva temple there, had 401 functionaries. Previous one, yes. Next. Okay, go to the next. Okay. Now the records in 1820 do not say what these 800 temple functionaries in Sri Rangam were getting. But there are some earlier records. There is what is called the Bhavana record, the region which Tipu Sultan had to give to the British after the 1792 defeat, the Salem and the Coimbatore defeat. Here is a very small temple, which is actually in Krishnagiri town today, this Paleshwara temple. So there are about 25 temple surveys, and what they were getting at that time is mentioned. And you can see that this 5 pagoda, 3 chakram, 46 anam, which the Parvatekar is getting, that is also equivalent to what the temple spends in one entire year on rice. So that is the level at which the Parvatekar is getting. But the Parvatekar's 5 chakram is only 5 times what the washerman or the sweeper is getting. So this is the wage differential that the traditional India believed in institutions which were running according to traditional norms. Next. There are several such records in Bhavana records. There are about 100 temple data of this temple. Okay, having taken over, the British of course said that the revenues will be managed through the state. That's what they said. That's what all the collectors said. So in 1820s, they did a survey, and in Madras presidency about 1 lakh temples were there at that time. And there were about 8,000 major temples. That means each district of Madras presidency had about 300, 400 major temples. Like the temples I mentioned, which got a share from 100, 200, 300 villages. And just as a comparison, In 1842, the number of Roman Catholic churches in Madras was reported to be 850. And I think it's about grown up by more than 1,000 times in the last 150 years. Okay, we can skip this. This Tirupati collector is saying that the way we are managing the temple is, as soon as the collections are made, the next day we are going to take it away. And this way we are getting about 87,000 rupees. And then he says in the next one, the collector of Bhavana is saying, of course this is very bad. We are using this devotion of these people and taking away that money. And we are encouraging this devil worship. That's what they used to call temple worship. And he says, but anyway, under our control, all these temples are supposed to die very soon. So don't worry. So the annual Kanika in Tirupati temple in 1830 was 87,000 rupees. Today it's about 950 crores. What that? The income of Tirupati temple is about 2,500 crores rupees today. Of which 900 crores is coming by the contributions of the Bhaktas. Okay. But essentially what was done? The whole lot of inscriptional records that we have do not say anything about the management of the temple. They only talk of donation, giving something. This was what the state was doing. So the king left the day-to-day affairs of the temple to the Sthanaka, to the local bodies. And he only adjudicated disputes, and that he did immediately. What the British state did was the reversal. So between 1801 and 1860s, various different kinds of laws, which are the precursors of the HRNC law today. The first one is around 1810, the Bengal regulation, then the Bombay regulation of 1820, Tamil Nadu 1825. And then there is a big debate to give back the temples because a Christian state should not be, just that the secular state should not be running the temples. A Christian state should not be the Christian state doing this, so the British state was called the Retinas of Vishnu by the parliamentarians in England. So they said, we will give back the temples. But how can they give back the temples? Because there are very major institutions around which there are mini states in themselves. So not controlling this temple will mean giving up the control of the society. So they devised a wonderful means that all the adjudication will be done by what they call the courts. And so the kings used to decide the disputes of the temple immediately, and they did not bother about day-to-day running of the temple. The British reversed it. They started managing the day-to-day affairs of the state, started managing the day-to-day affairs of the temple, but any disputes concerning the temple will be handled by what are called the courts. And it's no new thing. They took 10 years, 20 years, and a lot of other things up to privy, almost beyond our Supreme Court today, something called the privy council, up to which you could have gone. So this is how scholars have understood. It is no surprise that the temple and the Anglo-Indian judiciary grew entangled in a growing cycle of infractions which resolved little but provoked much new conflict. In Namma Devasthana, there is some dispute between Nadas and Naravas. So initially Ramnapuram Raja says this Nadas should not be allowed inside the temple. After 5 years, Maravas and Nadas come to an agreement, and so Raja says, no, now we have understood the Nadas will behave well in the temple, they should come. But the judge says, no, we have determined that the tradition of this temple is that Nadas are not to come. And there is no way that you can resolve these issues like this. These are issues of justice. So this is how the British kept our temples as centers of conflict, and conflict which were like to congeal and sort of ossify, that nothing would be resolved, and the entire sections of Adagarais are against Tenkalaris, in Tenkalaris one subsection will be against another, and this whole thing was a mess which the independent India needed. So we got that due to the hierarchy in 1919, temples were handed over to the local assemblies, and so the Justice Party determined that we will make an act. And this was an act. At that time itself the issue was raised by making an act for control of Hindu temples. You should make it for all religious institutions. So the minister Raja Brahma, I think, he said like that, no, right now Muslims are not ready for control of their institutions. We will make this for Hindu institutions only. Next one. And all the religious leaders, Kanchi Karmacharya in 1923 organized a big meeting. In Udupi a very big meeting was organized. And they all said it is not the business of the secular state to control temples and matters. Just as a hotel or a college or a school or an industry are not controlled, just as mosques are not controlled, churches are not controlled, there is no reason why temples should be run as government departments. Very simple as that. Yes. So now we come to the Constitution of India because that's the current situation. So the Article 25, it was referred to, it says that you have the freedom subject to, freedom of religion subject to public order, morality and health. And then it says that nothing said about will prevent the government from interfering with economic, financial, political or other secular activity which may be associated with religious practice. So this is the condition under which all these laws find their basis. Then it also says that the social reform is also a business of state. But social reform only for the Hindus. So the secular state of India has two things, that it will control religious institutions, the secular part of the religious activity of the religious institution. It has this power as per the constitution. Then it has the power to do social reform in Hindu society. Tomorrow they want to say that Hindus should have same-sex marriage, then the state has the power to enact such law. Whatever they want. So any law that they want they can enact as regards Hindu society. So this is one part of the secular feature of Indian constitution. Next one. Next one. That's Article 25. Then it says every religious denomination or any section shall have the right. So they don't say every religion has the right. Only religious denominations will have the right. And then they say Hindus are not a religious denomination. This is next. This is Article 26. This is the freedom of religion. Next one. Article 28, we can skip this. 29 and 30. So any group which has a distinct language or script or culture shall have the right to conserve it. So if three people say that we have a distinct script, that should be conserved. But if 99.999% have a script, well, they may have the right, they may not have the right. Constitution doesn't say they have the right. Next. Similarly, all minorities, whether based on religion or language, shall have the right to establish and administer educational institutions of their church. This is most atrocious article of our constitution. Not that it is giving minorities a right, it is taking this right from others. That supposing I say, differently abled people shall have the right to establish hotels. Suppose constitution had an article like this. What it means that others do not have the right to, I mean that's what it means, because right to establish hotels is a right of everybody. So why do you want to write? So you could have said, if it were a section of fundamental rights of Indian constitution, all communities, all religious groups, whether based on religion or language, shall have the right to establish and administer educational institutions. No. So this very tedious formulation that was inherent in our constitution of these fundamental rights, which enabled all the unequal laws that were there during the British time, continue and become more sort of corrosive, more oppressive, at least in principle. Whether they were corrosive or oppressive in practice varies from state to state, time to time. But this is what has happened. Next. So first this HRMC Act of 1959, roughly Tamil Nadu is governed like this even today. And the Chief Justice of India, Patanjali Shastri, he was an MLC then, was a former Chief Justice. He said, what is this act? Why are you regulating the religious activity of the majority community through acts like this? We don't need to have, we need freedom of religion, not only for the minority community, but for the majority community also, that governmental overseeing is alright, governmental interference, governmental control, and ultimately governmental management, and the judicial adjudication. All this put together have made temples look like PWD boards or whatever, I mean, whatever you may think of as the worst managed government institutions in India. Temples are one of them. No doubt. 100 years ago, Mahatma Gandhi, when he went for the first time to Varanasi in 1916, It was the height of home rule movement. It was the inauguration of Banaras University. So in that meeting he created an explosion. He said, we Hindus are not ready for home rule. So people started shouting. So he said, no, I have a very genuine thing. I went to see Lord Vishwanatha. I went to see the lanes and bylanes of Varanasi. If we are not able to handle this, keep this in proper shape, we should be ashamed. And we cannot say that we have the right to have Sarfu. Of course, when the Modi ji went there on May 14th or 15th and promised that Varanasi will be different, and perhaps rulers to come in the next 50 years will continue doing this promise. So there is a very serious problem that the public activity in India has all been given over to state. And the state means only Delhi and the state capitals. There is very little down the line except what is called the district collector or the district superintendent of police. There is nothing like local democracy in any district in India because, of course, they can elect an MLA, but they cannot determine whether a road can go through somewhere, a canal can go through somewhere, a tap can be somewhere, and they cannot determine what should be done to their temples. Of course, it is not that somebody in Delhi is controlling all this. In principle, they do not have the freedom. And if they want to do something, there could be hundreds of mischief makers who can prevent local initiative from happening. So, this is the situation of freedom of religion in India, that constitutionally we have made it possible for state to intervene. Just one more slide and we will close. Okay, so it's very important to know the religious endowments, management of religious institutions comes under the concurrent list. So tomorrow, if you can convince the central government of India to make a law, you don't need to amend Article 25. Article 25 gives state the right to interfere. But the government can say we will not interfere. So if in the concurrent list legislation supersedes all state legislation. So if we can persuade the government of India to make a legislation that the states shall not interfere or manage religious institutions, and Hindu religious institutions will be controlled by a Hindu religious board, both at state level, national level, district level, village level, whatever number, and by trusts which are authorized by this religious board. And similarly, Christian and Muslim institutions should also be controlled by appropriate India that they take from the offerings made to Lord Jagannath. So the court, a very Hindu court, they quoted the famous Bhagavad Gita verse, Tatram Pushpam Talam Koyam Yone Bhakya Prayachti Taraham Bhakyukalukam Ashnami Vedatmana. So, he's saying that till the moment the Kanika is put inside that vessel, it is religious. But the moment that money goes into that vessel, it becomes secular. And then the government can do anything. So, then the court decided the Archana may be religious. The language in this Archana is said is not religious. It can be secular. Then they can say the name of God is religious, but the particular name of God is secular. So, like that, we have given this extraordinary freedom to the new Dharma Shastra Kartas, sitting either in Delhi or in the various state capitals called the judges, to determine what is religious, what is secular. There should be some determination of this, of course, in a broad level. And by allowing that the religion, freedom of religion is circumscribed, that only the religious part of it, you have the freedom, and the secular part of it, you do not have. And the world is secular. According to Christianity and Islam, the world is entirely secular. There is nothing sacred in it. For us, the entire world is subsumed with divinity. The world is religious for us. And we cannot be forced to see that small rules are handled by certain bureaucratic rules, and the whole thing is run by either as an economic enterprise or a commercial enterprise or as a state-controlled enterprise. So Hindus have to understand the predicament to which they have got me. That we have religious institutions. There are several models functioning in India. There are denomination temples which are free to do whatever, and many of them do the kinds of things Gauri Shankarji said, that they try to see how to maximize the revenues or whatever. There are many gurdwaras which are managed under what is called the SDPC. So that's another model. Then there are mosques which come under the Waqf board. Then there are churches and churches and churches. The number is perhaps in few millions today, we don't know. That's what the international websites claim. And unfortunately, the government of India is still not releasing the data on the religious composition of Indian population as determined in 2011 census. There are many of them, the Catholic churches are controlled from Rome, and many of the Protestant churches are also controlled from abroad. Apart from the things that you hear about the so many NGOs and the foreign donations and all that, the institutions are directly controlled. Chennai has been having a running feud with Vatican. So from 1950, they refused to allow foreign governments. They said Christians can have their religion here, but it will not be governed from abroad. And the Pope refused to go to China, and I think even now he might have not gone. But they are hoping that some understanding will be evolved at some stage. That is how most nations will sort of handle religion. That our Hindu society has been the most magnanimous society in terms of religion. Our kings donated donations to all religious institutions, not merely to the denomination to which they belong, Sampradaya to which they belong. They gave full religious freedom. The Jews who were staying in Kerala said that this was the only country where we could freely practice our religion, where we were founded all over the world. But here we have put for ourselves a state, which just, if you interfere in Hinduism in a very pernicious way, it will not let Hindu society, especially at the local level. The problem will not be so much faced by all of us. We may get irritated by seeing. I used to walk around Jayanagar and see a very beautiful Vinayaka temple next to that MTR restaurant. And one by morning it put up a board saying hereafter this temple is run by the Gujarat Commissioner. And I am sure that temple was run wonderfully well by all the shopkeepers and all the people of that India, and they have nothing to do. So this is how we have allowed our, and after all we allow the government to take over things, why will it not take over? Except BCCI, it will take over everything else. So this is what our situation is. I'm sorry if I overshot my time, but the traditional principle was to protect. The modern principle is to control, and control is something that is not acceptable from any basic tenets of religious freedom in any society, anywhere in the world, let alone in a Hindu society, which believes in autonomy for every group to practice its tradition and religion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. So we would like to call upon our audience if they have any questions for Ravi Shankar and Srinivas. Anyone? Any questions? Please.
Colonialism of the mind is what is hurting Hindus most. What actions can be done